everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please don't ask me what this outfit is. To be honest, I don't know either, but we're not gonna question it. Okay, anyways, do I have 19 missing assignments? Yes. Am I still going to log on Star Stable and spend 3 hours filming and editing a video for YouTube? Also, yes. Okay, so anyways, today's video is going to be on mistakes that you are making as a club owner. So this is like not directed specifically towards anyone. Obviously, that's just like a title and general mistakes that club owners are making that I will be going over. It's not really like a club tips video, and I've actually been on YouTube recently looking at others people's videos of club tips, and I'm not going to point out exactly whose, but I'm kind of going to be like responding to that almost, but just making it more clear in um, today's video. So without any further ado, I'm actually going to train while we do this because poor depressed Acacia needs training. Yeah, I'll be training while we talk about fun stuff. So, okay, first of all, the first mistake, I'm not sure if it would be really considered a mistake, really, would kind of be like stressing yourself out too much, right? So, no matter how big of a club owner you are, how big your club is, how popular you are, that doesn't matter, but you should never prioritize Star Stable over in real life. You shouldn't have to like cry or, have panic attacks, whatever, over a club. And if something like that is happening, then you might want to rethink your decision and maybe be just a member for the time being, right? Like, don't stress yourself out. Give yourself a break sometimes. If you're really just not handling it, please don't pressure yourself or put on a mask for your club. That's not good for yourself. Make sure that you are okay and doing well, like yourself. Then the next mistake that you are making as a club owner is you do not think things through. So obviously with owning a club comes a lot of responsibilities and it's much harder than people think. So before you actually like decide that you're going to own a club, please have things planned out. A common mistake is people who don't have things planned out. They just kind of roll with it and then it ends up being like absolute chaos. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into and don't like be impulsive. Don't just go make a club out of nowhere just for the sake of making a club. You actually have to have certain goals in mind. Like for example, when I first started Frost Sisters, I really didn't know what I was doing. That was like forever ago. I basically just wanted to own a club just to own a club and kind of like uh feel that leadership and just see how it was. Obviously, that didn't go very well. I did not expect for all that drama and I did not plan for it. Obviously, it took a toll on my mental health. It was not very fun at all. And if I could undo something from the past, I would probably say that I shouldn't have rushed into club owning. I should have taken some time joining clubs and actually experiencing how it felt to be a member and everything before I went in by myself. But obviously, do I fully regret it? No, because in the end, it brought me to this stage where I can happily own a drama-free club. So, progress, but yeah, I definitely say to watch out for that. And um, expectations versus reality is very different with club owning. By the way, these like common mistakes aren't really like in order, they're just like at random. But the next biggest mistake that you're making as a club owner is that you're focusing on quantity over quality. A lot of people say that, oh, bigger is better. And for some reason, okay, I'm not like shaming people who have this, but some people have two clubs. And not even because, like, I understand if your club has a regular, um, like, club and a waiting club or something, or if you're like just a big hangout club or for some other reasons, I totally understand. But I know of some clubs who just have two clubs and their max is 100. just because they're focusing on quantity over quality. And what is the good in having 100 members? Like, I honestly don't understand. Wouldn't you rather have like 20 members who are actually close with each other than 100 people who barely even talk? We need to set our priorities straight here. So, bigger, please know that it does not necessarily mean better. A bigger club is definitely going to be harder to manage, and that'll come with 2 times the amount of patience that will require from you as a club owner. And it's just going to stress you out, girls. So, I recommend that you just stick with one club. Um, Obviously, so like focus on improving the quality inside of the club rather than like advertising yourself for members. Although that is an important aspect, you have to make sure that you're keeping the quality within the club, because if you keep that quality, word will soon get out, and that will attract people to eventually join your club. But if you're just known for being a big club, although that may attract some people who are just looking for a big club, that they're probably going to end up leaving if you're filled with drama and stuff. And this isn't really on the problem on the club owner's behalf. This is kind of a problem on the people who are looking for clubs. They need to also know that bigger clubs does not necessarily equal better. This isn't the case for all clubs, but most of the clubs, that's not very, it's not what you're trying to go for. Don't be concerned over that. I remember when I started Frost Sisters, I just wanted to stay at max members. I'll admit, I wanted to stay at max. If I dropped like even 1 or 2 below, I would be like, why is this happening to me? I'm so unfortunate. But then when I started Dangerous Sisters again, I was definitely more chill. I was like, okay, well, we'll take it slow, see how it goes. We ended up accepting like 7 to 10 people on our first batch. Again, starting small, and then we built our activity up from then. That's gonna work out for you way better. I felt absolutely no stress. There's no drama going on, and I am so glad to say that. So you might have to rebuild yourself multiple times, like I had to. Obviously, everyone's experiences are going to be different, but that's just my personal opinion. So, yeah, obviously, 100% focus on your quality over the quantity. Okay, another big mistake that you're making as a club owner is you're being less active than your members. So, okay, as a club owner or even a leader, this can apply to either. You're going to be the role model, right? You're going to be the standard that the people in your club are going to try to meet because you are of a higher authority. You're like leading this club. So, therefore, if you're not active, you cannot require your members to be active either, because if you want to encourage activity or you want to encourage a specific type of acting, then you have to do it yourself in the first place for your members to follow. I know of some clubs where I know sometimes you just can't help it because maybe the owner is like a bit older and has certain responsibilities and stuff like that. But especially if you're like the only owner and you're barely active, then how can you expect to have an active club? Right? You have to be active yourself. That is very important. And if you're going to encourage kind, inclusive activity, you have to start that in the first place. Then another big mistake that is being made is people acting too superior. So I always say this, that like I'm trying to be not just your club owner, but your friend. So lots of club owners, like, they think being that club owner gives them a sense of authority, in which case they get to act better than all their members. This is not like in most cases. I know of so many like good kind-hearted club owners, but I'm just saying, right, as a reminder, you cannot act superior to your club members because, well, you're not. Like, you might own the club, you might be in charge of certain things, but you cannot control what other people are going to do. Okay, moving on to the next mistake, which is uh, you're prioritizing the appearance of your club rather than actually experiences in the club. Okay, and this is a mistake that I can say I have made myself, but obviously I'm trying to help you guys learn from that, and it's good to admit when you do make mistakes so you yourself can learn from that. But basically, when I say appearance, I mean your appearance in game and on social medias. So some club owners, no matter like even if it's a club with like 13,000 followers or something, you never know what's going on inside that club, right? So even if you have like let's say 100K or something, your following count does not matter that much. And a lot of small club owners, the first important thing that they think of is that they need to start posting on social media. They need to advertise themselves to get followers, but that is not true. You do not have to do that. There are some clubs that I know of that have like 300 followers, but they are like the most inclusive bunch, and honestly, in my opinion, they deserve like 100K, but what is that gonna do, right? Like, your follower count does not determine your worth as an individual or as a club. And instead of focusing on the way you appear, you know, your pretty posts and everything, focus on what's actually going on inside of the club. Not like having your members entity flat at Steve's like I used to do like all the time just so people can look at you and feel like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, like intimidated. I don't know, but like yeah, focus on the experiences that people are having. Another common mistake that is being made is that you're not asking for help or getting enough support. Oh, what is going on? When you need it. Especially if you're like an only club owner, a lot of the times you're going to need help, right? So take someone into club leader or whatever, just get yourself rolling as best as you can and ask people for help when you need it. Don't be shy to ask for help. If you are in a club situation where you're the owner and there are leaders, or even if you're the leader and there are other leaders or the owner, ask for help because they need to understand that they can't just depend on you because they have a role in the club as well. And you can't do everything by yourself. Soon enough, you're gonna get worn out, and your opinion is obviously not the only opinion that matters. If you need assistance, you have to ask for that. You cannot carry the burden of the entire club on your back. Okay, this mistake is something that happens all the time, and it's very, very hard to correct, like 100%. But this mistake is that you're being sad and taking it personal whenever someone leaves, and then feeling the need to accept more people into the club just to fulfill um, the spot, just to fill the empty spots. So please understand that most of the times when people leave a club, this is in the end just a horse game. It's almost never personal unless there's like drama with you as a club owner or leader or anything, but it's never personal. Like if they choose that they want to leave your club because it is not the perfect fit for them, it does not translate into I hate you, your club absolutely sucks, and I never want to see you guys again. You know, it probably just means, oh, you guys are an amazing club with a great bunch of people, but I just don't think it's where I belong. You have to understand that you're not going to be the perfect club for everyone that joins. Sooner or later, people are going to leave, right? And you have to expect that. They're not going to stay for their entire life, no matter how much you like them. And if someone leaves, well, again, it's just a horse game, it's just another day. Because someone leaves your club does not mean that you can't keep in touch with them. I have many great friends from the previous the clubs that I have left before, and we are still really close. So that doesn't have anything to do with your personal relationships or your relationship with the club owner, your relationship with members, or anything of the sort. Like, it's all going to be okay. You do not need to fill spots whenever you feel like someone's leaving or it's too empty or something. Like maybe for the first day or two, it's gonna be sad, especially if the member was one that everyone loved or something. But like, is someone going to be harmed because of that, like physically? Or like, is it a life-changing alteration? Probably not. You're gonna move on with your life and everything will be okay. There are some people that I've met where they're like, "Oh, well, one of my best friends left. I am banning the club right now and you're never gonna see me again." That I don't think that it's a reasonable situation or like a reasonable response to have to that kind of situation. I mean, because it's not that big of a deal no matter how you think it is. The next thing is that you're not taking your members' opinions or interests into consideration. And so this is another reason why you should have your own experiences in a club before becoming or thinking about being a club owner, because if you haven't been like a member of a club, you don't really know how it feels, right? Because as a member, there's a lot of things that are different from being a club owner, because you might feel a certain way when you're a member than you did when being a club owner. Like, for example, if you're a club owner, you might not even notice that you're making people feel left out or there are small cliques in the club. But as a member, you would recognize that, right? So after you have that experience being a member in a club and you go to being a club owner, you can recognize those small slips that you missed and then correct them, because then you can see from the different points of view, and it helps a lot just to have different experiences. Club owning is not for everyone. Do not feel that you 100% are obliged to try that or anything. It's something that you have to like have a heart for. You have to be prepared for it, and you really have to want to do that. Um, and then the point I brought up about, taking in your members' interests, that is because if you notice that people are only like attending certain activities or there's more attendance in a certain activity, ask them what they want to do, because a club is a group effort to keep running. It is not all about you. It's very um it's very important that you do take others' opinions and stuff into consideration in order to improve your club. Now, the next one, so I've heard many, many different opinions about this, so it's definitely up for discussion. But a mistake that is made, well, I wouldn't necessarily consider this a mistake. It's just like more of a suggestion. But you're not using Discord for your club. Now, some people might say, oh, you don't need Discord to have a good and running club. You don't need Discord for a drama-free club or an active club, and that is true. That is true. You can have a perfectly fine club without Discord, but the reason that I recommend it is because you can stay in touch so much better. You can create better bonds, and while you can have your club be active, you cannot ensure consistency with your members, because if a member is really attached, it's going to be harder for them to leave. Therefore, you're going to have more loyal members. And there's apparently studies prove that like if you hear a person's voice, especially if it's like an online relationship, you trust them better. And I just feel like Discord is a way better way for organization, and it prevents like lost track of time. It just brings you closer together. But again, I'm not saying that you like simply cannot have a good club without Discord, because I know a lot of good clubs without Discord. It's just something that I highly, highly recommend. If you're not allowed it or something, then like as a club owner, that's totally fine. But if you have the opportunity to, please, please, please get it, and please require Discord as well. A mistake relating to this fact of Discord, like relating to Discord, is that some people, what they do is they're going to not require Discord. So they're gonna have like half of a club with Discord and half of a club without Discord. I would personally say just stick with one of them. Either everyone has Discord or no one has Discord, because if we're like all over the place, then that makes things really confusing, and it's just like a mess and very hard to keep track of. That is just, again, my personal opinion. My sister has decided that she's going to now start playing piano while I am filming. She does this like 99% of the time. It is so annoying, and I apologize if you hear her trash playing. Kind of having to do with that fact, just kind of, is that you are not having strict requirements. Now, this is something that I obviously did when I started club owning in Frost Sisters, because I mean, I just wanted to have more members. I didn't really care about the quality, but this is very important if you do want to improve the quality of your club, because you have to have strict rules, like with age, with things you need to have and stuff. What I did before, right, is, so our requirement was that you had to have Discord, but sometimes in applications we would come across people who sounded very, very nice, but just didn't have Discord, right? And me and the leaders sometimes were like, oh, well, this person sounds really nice. Let's just accept them anyways. But that never works out really well, because the majority of the clubs is going to have Discord, and they're going to feel very left out. So that is definitely a mistake to be avoided. So you either stick with one or all. You have to keep those requirements. There should be no exceptions. No matter how nice the person may be, it's just gonna make things a heck of a lot harder for you. Okay, we are almost done. Then the next mistake you're making, this is also up for discussion, but in my opinion, you are too laid back. So it obviously depends in some situations. Like if your club description is that your club is a really chill, laid back club, then that is totally alright. But if you're owning like a club that you're like trying to keep activity, and you want to participate in star stable dressage competitions or something, um, then you cannot be so laid back. You have to be strict. And I'm not saying strict in the way you're like, practice 48 hours every day, or like, um, you suck at dressage, get to the back of the line or something. You missed that go for the curl. Okay, you're gonna go sit out in the timeout corner. No, I'm not saying that kind of strict. I'm saying strict as in, you're not like, how do I put this? Like, saying like, especially when you get to the more advanced levels, you're not congratulating them for like everything, because I know some people, obviously you want to do this with beginners. I'm just saying this in the case of dressage especially. You want to help beginners to boost their confidence and everything, but once you moved on to people who are like more advanced and everything, you have to keep them in time. And for example, if everyone was like messy and off time, I'm not gonna say something like, that was great, guys, that was absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna say that, because they probably even know, like, themselves, that they messed up somewhere, and I have to correct that. I have to be strict on that. And if we're practicing for practice, if we're like training for a competition or something, I'm not gonna say one practice this week, 25-minute practice, and that's it, right? Obviously, I'm probably gonna say like 3 or 4 practices this week, and that will be it. Obviously, you don't want to like be too strict and over stress your members. There is a line that you should not cross, but you have to, like, it's your responsibility to make sure things are going well, and sometimes being strict does the job and allows people to listen to you more, and stuff like that. Then, last but not least, a mistake that you're making is having a name or an outfit for your club that is not preferably nice looking. or matches. Okay, so now there are people who say that like if you have a club outfit or club name, as long as you like it, it is okay. You know, as long as you like it, it's okay. You can have a name like Big Bad Bananas Inc. or something, and that is okay. And you can have like a blue outfit to pair with that. That is totally okay, right? Some people say that. And although, yeah, like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you're thinking of it in the style of like a professional club owner, then if you're going for a club that is meant to attract people to join, right? Like it's not supposed to be a joke club or anything. Your goal is to eventually have people joining, although, you know, the goal is, well, your overall goal is not to have like a max club, it is just to have a running club, but that does require members. So you're going to try to attract people, and yeah, like, sure, you can have a club named Big Bad Bananas Inc. and have like the ugliest outfit possible, but and you might be happy with that, but are you going to get a lot of people joining? Probably not. And if you don't have a lot of people joining, is that going to make you happy? Again, probably not. So you need a good name and an outfit in the first place if you're going to make a good club. And like this is not something to stress over thinking if your name is good or not. Just don't purposely make a bad name or a joke name. Try your best to make a club that matches the theme. Ask your friends for advice or anything, and take your members' advice if you can, especially with the club outfit. You know, ask for ideas, and the club outfit is going to be something that your members are going to be wearing the majority of the time. So if it's a club outfit that they don't particularly like, especially if it's like an expensive one or something, then they'll probably not want to join your club because they're going to be spending so many star coins just for an outfit that like doesn't match, doesn't fit the theme or something. So you have to think things through. So yeah, that's like my thoughts, my opinion on this general topic. There are going to be people who disagree with me, and that is obviously totally okay. Like this is just my opinion as an individual. So I'm not like forcing these onto you guys or anything, but these are just mistakes that I see a lot, and I know personally as a club owner, these are mistakes that I've seen from other club owners and mistakes that I personally do my best to avoid. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope that I was able to help you, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Bye!